Welcome to Fiber Hustle.
Welcome.
My name is Chip.
My name is Aaron.
I like to sew until it hurts.
I like to knit and crochet and be fierce.
Oh, listen to him. And you like to watch.
You do! Fiber Hustle episode 46.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. How have you all been? Look at you. You haven't changed a bit.
Still sitting in the same chair. Still wearing that same tattered gown.
That's terrible.
Lady Bajou with all of her pearls just sitting in her ratted apartment with all of your cats.
Oh, I love cats. But yeah, it's good to see you. It's been, like I said, a hot minute.
It's been a fun hot minute.
It's a fun hot minute. We've got a lot of stuff done in the last 4 months since we've seen you.
I mean, just saying, we've been doing some stuff.
I don't know. Have you heard the rumors? I haven't heard anything about us lately.
There's a rumor?
That we're awesome.
Plural?
We're amazing. There's lots and lots of rumors.
Superlatives. All we get is superlatives. So, how have you been? Where are you at? Put it in the show notes. We want to see, if you still... Do we know each other?
We better know each other. I hope you're getting ready for... I know some people are not ready for summer to be over, but it's starting to put up a fight with fall, and I'm here for fall.
Less than 30 days away.
I know, and again, I don't want to yuck anybody's yum for summer, but summer, it doesn't do much for me because I like the dark and dreary and the September, October
There
area.
is a whole world to look out outside your window.
Never, ever outside the window. I was going to say, because you never leave out. Actually, in our little update recap,
he
has left the house. House? Yes, I got some accents that's going as well.
Those tattered pearls that you're wearing, it's time to clutch.
Yes. Oh, you should see his feet. They're so blistered from walking in and out of the house and to the car.
All right, so what are we here for? Today, this is a knitting and sewing podcast, and we've got some updates that we're going to show you what we've been doing.
Yeah.
And then we have you made that, and you had to have it. Do we have you had to have it?
We have had to have it.
And what are you making?
What do you make? We have all that stuff. If you're new to the channel, because we have some new subscribers since we did the Flock Festival, no big deal. We've had some new viewers, subscribers. So, hey, welcome to our tacky little show, our little dog and pony show. This is it. This is what you get.
What if this shirt is as good as it gets?
Gang, so I wanted to wear this shirt to Flock, and somebody heavily suggested that I should not wear this shirt to Flock. But wouldn't it have been a conversation starter?
I vetoed that. No.
I got this. So I had my 30-year high school reunion back in June. So I flew back to Ohio and partaked in 30-year reunion stuff. And I said, I need to be like myself from high school. So I wore this shirt and nobody expected anything less.
It probably was the same size that you were in high school.
You're such a jerk.
No, because everything was baggy back then.
I did. So I was in all of high school. I think I was 159 pounds. That was a long time ago. And during that day, it was the
90s.
Extra large or extra large. So I still have high school shirts I can fit into, like my Pearl Jam shirts, dig all the band stuff. Actually are a little snug on me now, when back then they were like tents. Whatever.
But
that's how our
here
bodies
we are.
change. I know I'm beautiful.
Here we are with the kitty cats.
Here we are at 48 years old with kitty cats.
So Flock was a big hit. It was the first time that we had ever really done anything. You've done one trunk show a year ago.
Yeah.
And that was like a couple hours, very successful. But this was like our first big show. And I'm telling you, gang, from a vendor's perspective, everything, all the boxes were checked for us. We, sometimes you go into a new venture or you try something new, and the only way that you're going to learn is through your mistakes, whether it's your knitting, whether it's your quilting, whether it's your business. Gang, we had no mistakes. Everything went so uber smooth that it was a little unsettling because we just kept waiting for the shoe to drop and it never dropped.
We also had a very good team behind us. As you know, our friend Carrie from Creative Obsession, who we love, helped us prep months in advance.
Oh my God.
I'm not crying this time. I already cried when they were here and I did a little speech. Nobody's going to get me. So, Carrie from the Creative Session helped us immensely. Michael came in from Piece for Piece Crafting, and he stole the show as like a salesman in our booth. And between him and Carrie, people are like, oh yeah, I'll buy this. And I'm like, they don't even need that. But Michael and Carrie are like, yes, you do. So they were amazing salespeople. And then Kevin and Ray came in for support, and they hung out outside our booth for a little bit.
They were the milkshake.
They brought all the boys and girls to the yard. But because of that team that we had, it was just amazing. But even being it was different being on the other side of it, because festivals, you go in, you shop till you drop, you go home, take a nap. Mm-hmm. You guys, being on the other side of it and being a vendor, I know you know how much work the vendors put into doing these things, but I don't think you know how much the vendors put into these things. It is hours and hours of dyeing,
Months.
planning, sewing, months, and just even setting up the vendor booth. We pre-prepped a lot of our things, and it still took us, I think, 6 hours to get that booth going. And the next time you go to any kind of festival, whether it's knitting, quilting, needlepoint, food,
Add a cart.
add a cart, and just add a tip. Just think of all the things that they had to do to prep for this that you don't even see or even think about. And even thank you to the people that Jess and who put on Flock?
Caroline.
Jess and Caroline who put on Flock, because they kept us informed since day one. Like, we had monthly calls with all the vendors to address their concerns. Anytime you had a question, you could email them.
At no point did we ever have to double think.
Yeah.
Second guess.
Yeah.
We never had to second guess what was going on. Everything, I mean, like, they really had their shit together.
It was so thoughtful.
It was
Everything
really, it was real.
From the space of things.
By them having everything well oiled, and it's only their second year, so which means it can only get better. By them having their whole venue planned and like worked out. Plus, the other thing is, like, anything that we would bring to them, they weren't closed off. You know, it's not just about a single team, and they were really open to everybody's suggestions. So it was so phenomenal. But you know what? It's not just about us. It's about you. And hello, we finally got to meet some people.
We got to meet so many of you.
Christine, how you doing? I got to meet Drew. That was the first time I think I met Drew.
I met him before. Where did I meet him?
And his crew.
I met him at Rhinebeck a few years ago. Yeah.
Oh, I think we did.
I know I did.
I have such a good memory.
I don't know if he ducked and hid from you or what. But yeah, we met so many of you, and thank you so much for just coming up and saying hi, just talking about the show, talking about just us, that you love the products. I mean, just everything. And it was just nice to hear you and your stories. It was
I loved
fantastic.
The best two compliments that we got during the weekend, and we can finally let this ship dock, because all we've been doing is talking about Flock for the last half of a year. So yeah, we actually get to be ourselves again. But
yeah,
the best two compliments that we received is, one, we look like the Apple Store of our booth did, the Apple Store of yarn, and then I'm pulling a Carrie of the Creative Obsession Goldfish Brain. There was a second compliment.
My eyes?
Oh, no, well,
no, my eye was messed up then. So no, it wasn't my eyes.
The second thing was that, oh yeah, our booth was where the party was at.
Yes. I think it was Nitty Natty, was like, hey, the party was in the Fiber Hustle booth. And we did, because we had the cool accessories this year. I mean, this is on the website. That really wasn't supposed to be a plug. But yeah, we have the hand fans, which everybody needs.
They were a big hit. Everybody was really warm, and it was fun.
Yeah. Should we show a little bit of the booth?
So, yes.
For people that are
Let's
interested.
do it. So let's see.
Unless you not want to?
What? What's happening?
Unless you don't want to?
Oh, of course I do. So let's go to some Flock pics.
So right here, obviously, you're looking at some of our album-inspired yarn, which this was the best seller And besides it selling really well, my favorite part was listening to people's stories when they came up and started talking about the music and the yarn and how it took them back to a certain place. Especially the Go-Go's had all the gals kind of going, oh my gosh, I roller skated with Timmy to this in 1986 and Omaha, Nebraska to the song, and it was my first kiss. So I just love some of the stories I heard when we went through all the album-inspired yarn, and I think it was a brilliant idea that it was right up front and center. And yeah, the Outcast, some lady would like a whole sweater's quantity of this, and she's going to reach out to me to talk about that because that is just a gorgeous color. But yeah, album-inspired, loved it, and the people loved it. Look how many baskets, Chip. Chip, your baskets are huge.
They're consistent. So for this show, I didn't want to overwhelm people with so many different styles, plus different sizes. I try to keep it simple, so we went with the large size, and I think there was like 12 or 13 different baskets, and then we also had 12 different styles of sacks. I'm telling you, it took me 2 months. I had broken my own record of doing about 200 pieces, so much, and
You broke your back, too.
That I literally, gang, I was getting neuropathy and pain. Like, I would just get so much tingling. So I have been resting my arm since Flock because I was sewing right up to the end. And, I mean, like, it's a mixed blessing. I sold, like, 80% of my stock. But at the same time, I went and I was just, it was too much sewing. But, sometimes you gotta...
That's part of being a small business owner.
You gotta balance. But, so yeah, check the website if you still are interested in chip baskets. There are some to be had. And then, look at that beautiful sweater.
That beautiful sweater that Carrie, our friend from the Creative Obsession, knit herself with her own 2 hands with our
With
yarn.
her what?
Her own 2 hands.
Love it.
I was like, yeah, she got it. See, you can see her hands right there. You can see them right underneath the sweater. They're little tiny baby doll hands.
Yeah, so it was, the greatest thing was having all of the samples. And it's like, even just thinking about what is needed and like what samples are going to have. And we thank you to everybody who stepped up and offered us samples. They really come in handy. I mean, when you can see the difference between what a hat will make and what a sock will make, it makes a big difference on your project.
Huge difference, yeah.
So thank you for everybody who donated their time and their energy. And
there's some more DK yarn that we had on display because we had fingering DK. That is actually fingering. We had fingering DK and a little bit of worsted because I know some people every once in a while ask for the worsted.
Now, we're going to take you back to this picture, but one of the little behind the scenes, the Wizard of Oz peek behind the curtain. If you look at this picture, you notice there's a glass mannequin head.
Oh, don't get me started.
This was, when I have, gang, sometimes you have a vision and you need to exercise it and you're not going to be fulfilled until your dreams come true.
My dream didn't come true. My dream did not
Sometimes
come true.
the right dreams are meant to come true. So Erin wanted these foam, mannequin heads.
No.
Yes. And what's worse is that he wanted to put wigs on them and sunglasses.
Carrie and I wanted to put wigs on them. We didn't really talk about sunglasses, but and even the glass ones, they had wigs, they had hat, they looked hip, they looked fresh. And then Chip was like, no wigs. So we sent a text to one of our group chats, and for some reason, some evil, hateful people out there said,
the gays.
No wigs. I'm like, are you kidding me?
The gays know design.
So Carrie and I lost putting wigs, but you guys should have seen it. They were gorgeous.
Gang, no. Now, could you imagine? I'm going to be honest. Most of the booth.
Well, one, what the hell's a man do with 8 wigs?
So imagine if Aaron had his way with this. You've got mannequins with all these untamely wigs, and then you've got this cat shirt. What are we projecting out there?
Awesomeness. I think there has to be some people that would be Team Aaron that would want to see these fresh people with some hair on it.
You know, maybe you should.
And then wear cat shirts as well.
If you want to do a pop-up at a roller rink, you're more than welcome.
You son of a bitch.
All right, so a little bit more of the booth. There's Carrie. There's our lovely Carrie and Michael, the dream team.
Yep, they were fantastic.
And you know what? It would have been so nice to actually have everybody from your knit group come. But they said, I'm not doing it. They're not coming. So, you know, we missed you.
People did come.
And also we had these lights. We didn't get a really great picture of it, but we finally, our mascot, we've given him a nickname.
His name, well, I said Norman, but he's going by Norman, Normie, or...
I call him Normie.
Normie, and there was one more.
Norman?
Norman.
How about Normale?
Norman or Normie. That is our new mascot's name, because he just looks like he's like, hey, I'm here for it.
So we got, so I had 3 lights. We had 3 lights that were made, and it just made the booth. We were thinking, oh my God, is this like? I think we went too far.
I think we did. It's like, are you selling yarn or yourselves? We're like, yeah, we're selling.
But it was fun.
What it was Michael's? Michael said, now are we selling yarn or are we putting together an art exhibit?
With the wigs?
No, with everything.
Oh.
He's like, is this an art installation or is this going to be for a yarn show?
But
so we it was fun.
It was fun.
You saw the vision once it was all set up.
Yeah. And all right, so you saw the fans.
Yeah, you saw the fans.
And then, okay, this was amazing. I mean, like talking about MacGyver.
Yes.
When it comes to samples, you're thinking you have all these sock tubes. Thank you, Carrie, over their creative obsession. She cranked those out for you. And we were thinking, okay, what's the best way to display these? And Carrie and you came up with the idea.
Yeah, for some reason, Chip had extra, like these huge like cardboard poles that some of his fabric comes on.
So like big tubes that the fabric comes on. So I'll buy a big bolt of fabric, and it's a huge cardboard tube, and it was the right size. All we had to do was just subdivide it.
I said, what if we cut them up and then put the sock tubes around it? It might look good. Then we're like, well, how do we make it stand? And we just got a new paper towel holder upstairs. So we ordered more paper towel holders. Don't smell the secrets, y'all. But so you get a big tube, stuff the sock on it, put a paper towel holder, and it actually displays really nice.
It looks, I mean, it came and did what it was supposed to do.
It did.
Okay, so then, is that it? That's it? That's all the pictures we have.
That's all the pictures, yes. So,
we have a video of the whole booth.
Oh, we do?
Yeah, one more thing, gang.
Roll it.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Perfect.
I mean, like we're so in the moment. I don't know how you guys do, but when you're out and about, do you ever forget to take pictures? Do you ever forget I am so good about being in the moment that I don't take pictures of my food. I don't take and the one thing that we really should have done is capture everything. So if you guys have pictures, please send them.
Yeah, we'd love to be tagged in them or send them to us and all that good stuff. But yeah, an amazing flock. And if you had flock FOMO, I think it was real. I think this is like the West Coast version of Rhinebeck or Dallas.
And dates are already set for next year.
Yeah, dates are already set for next year. It's August. It's always beautiful here in August. Not always. Last week we had a stinker. But when that occurred, it was gorgeous. There's plenty of places to see after flock or before flock. You can go north, south, east, west and always see something different. So
love it.
Yeah.
All right, so enough of the flock talk. I mean, if
flock talk,
we have never said flock in so many times in all of our lives, and I'm just ready to pause.
Yeah. So
okay, Aaron.
Yes. Well, what do we have coming up? We have You Made That's
You made that.
You have what are you makins?
What are you makins?
And then we are gonna have. I have a little bit of kind of thing. What?
I have. What?
It's our friend Jeff. Jeff, come on in.
Did you know he was coming?
What's Jeff doing here?
I mean,
Oh my
as soon
gosh.
as we move, there's people that are coming in all the time.
This house is like.
It's a magnet now.
How you doing, buddy?
Hello.
Good to see
How
you.
are y'all?
Good.
Wow. All right,
Come on
well,
in.
let's get you a seat.
We'll screw over. We'll move over. I don't even know what that meant, so we're just gonna keep on going.
Okay, so
Jeff.
there won't be any booster chair talk here.
Good to see you. It's so good to see Booster Talk.
Keep my secrets, Chip.
So Jeff is our friend. From his accent, you can tell that he's from Northern Fargo.
You will.
Right, exactly. Northern Fargo, otherwise known as Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I'm deep South Cajun, which has a big impact on the types of things we can knit and actually wear.
Yeah, that has got to be just different because, I mean, Louisiana never really gets cold. So when you knit things, what do you do with them? It's a real question. I'm like, okay.
Yep, I've got a stack of worsted weight sweaters that look real pretty on the shelf. We wear them when we travel. It's nice to have them to pack. And, air conditioner can get the house pretty darn cold.
Yeah, they turn it down a lot. Jeff is actually here because him and I and a bunch of other gentlemen are going to the Seattle Men's Knitting Retreat in a few hours. So he has stopped by. We're going to go up there together, down there actually. It's in the Seattle Men's Knitting Retreat. Takes place every Labor Day weekend. And it's down in Dumas Bay in Federal Way. And it's just a weekend of guys hanging out, knitting, needle binding, sock, what's it called?
Cranking.
Sock cranking, all kinds of things.
Yep,
So
highly recommended. This is going to be just my second year going, and last year afterwards, I decided it was an event I just wasn't going to miss. It's probably the most rejuvenating experience I had last year. It's just really nice. You get to meet some really great people, meet some new friends. It's on a cliff on the bay, so you can get up in the morning, watch the sunrise next to the cliff, sit and knit, headphones in with some soft music. It was pretty fantastic.
yeah. So this year, I think I'm going to try to document the knitting retreat a little bit more. But again, like I've said in the past, this is some of the gentlemen's like vacations. So I know nobody wants a camera like just up in their face for the whole weekend. But I'll try to make like a little 2 or 3 minute vlog or something we can show next time we record, just so you see what it's like, even from the room to the food to some of the activities, just so people do know and they can kind of sneak peek into it.
I'm going to have to do a better job. I'm going to have to do a better job of trying to see if there is any kind of men's quilting retreat. I have never been on a retreat ever. So I'm very excited for you guys that you get to do that.
You have the power to start one.
That is very true.
I'm just saying, I don't know how many other gentlemen quilters watch this show, but if leave comments.
Are you
below.
there?
Are you there? The only thing is, how do you travel with a sewing machine?
Easy.
Are you-
I have a little trolley.
No, not you. If you were put together something, does everybody take them on the airplane, or do you rent them somewhere?
No, you take them with you. However you, boat, sea, air, road,
Camel.
camel.
Camel, yes.
But you probably want to bring 2 just so that it's level.
Oh
My sewing
gosh.
machine has a case. It locks itself in, holds it tight, and you check it.
You're not going to bring like your big machine. You're going to take a little featherweight.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
We don't have to worry
Chip will
about
supply
that.
the long arm.
Yeah.
So
Now
we'll just
that
do
I've
it
got
here.
up.
Now
Yeah.
that everybody comes here all the time, we'll just do it here.
So, Jeff, you've been knitting how long?
Oh, not very long. I started knitting. By coincidence, I learned to knit December 2019. And then, of course,
Coincidence?
5 months later, the world shut down.
Oh.
And I had lots and lots of time to knit. And now I knit pretty religiously, probably 4 or 5 hours a day. If I say I watch a lot of TV, so in the evenings I can listen to TV while knitting.
Your hands haven't been that busy since you were 18.
You're probably right. You're probably right. Yeah. So I don't knit anything super complicated, but I really like to just do, basic projects that keep my hands busy and keep my mind occupied. And
how did you find knitting?
One of my very best friends in the world, my friend Kim, had really been after me to start knitting. She just said, really think this is something you're going to enjoy. I think it'll be something that you find relaxing. And so in that December, we were going on a road trip, and I showed up, and she said, here's I've cast on a dishcloth for you. And here's how you do the knit stitch. And I went back and forth. And
nice.
My dishcloth ended up being about 22 inches long because I went until I was out of yarn, and I still have it. So that's it. She got me going. She had a hunch, and her hunch was right.
That's so awesome. And we didn't talk about community today, but even talking about community, we met Jeff on a Zoom call for a bingo we had. Then we just kind of started knitting together with some other people, and then you meet these people in real life, and now Jeff is a friend just from getting out there and doing community things within the knitting community, quilting community for Chip, that kind of thing. So if you are not part of a community, you can start your own or get involved in something just to have that kind of thing. You're looking at me weird.
You can't sit with us.
You can always sit with me.
Yeah, I highly recommend. Were it not for knitting, I wouldn't have friends all over the country the way I do today.
All right, so question. I got a question.
Yes, press conference. Chip.
Okay, so when you are at your men's knitting retreat, let's talk food. Let's talk how late do you guys stay up knitting?
Well, honestly, there's
snacks.
The snacks. You can bring all the snacks you want. I feel like I can do a recap next time, but we'll do it here. You can bring all the snacks you want. You can bring alcoholic beverages if you want. It's not a place that you're looking forward to getting S-faced, but you can have some cocktails. The retreat is what you make it. If you want to be around people and be social and talk to everybody, you can do that. There are a few gentlemen, for some reason, which is great. That's what they want to do. They come and they kind of hang out by themselves 60% of the time. That's their experience. That's the retreat they want to have. But speaking of like food and things like that, they serve meals twice a day. They have catering come in. Mm-hmm. We eat as a group in a different room from where we knit, just kind of get away from the knitting.
Sure.
We eat, come back. Majority of the people probably go to bed around 10 o'clock or so, but there's probably a good 10 or so that are the late night cats that get out the sock cranks. The sock crankers seem to be late night people more than the actual knitters. They go back and forth between their hobbies, but it seems like 10:30 is when the sock cranking really gets started and the action really starts.
How many years have you been going?
This will be, COVID made me take off a few years. I want to say this is my 4th or 5th.
I want to say this is your
5th?
4th at the very most.
Is it? It could be. I'll have to go back and look.
Yeah, that'd be interesting to know.
Look about, but yeah, this is the one I look forward to because the Seattle one, you get your own room, you get your own bathroom that's in a room. It's just a great location. There's other men's knitting retreats around the country. I know some of them you have to share a bedroom with someone, which if I was going with someone like Jeff or something like that, I could probably do it. I don't know. I make friends with strangers really well, but I don't want to be like, hey stranger, let's sleep in the same room. That's just not my scene, but people do it all the time. So
yeah. There's one coming up next month in Black Mountain, North Carolina, that Southeast men's knitting retreat. I won't be there, but I've heard really good things about it.
Nice.
But we're glad to have you in the PNW.
I'm excited to be in the PNW. It's one of my favorite places in the country. The weather's nice. It's still 100 degrees back home. So,
oh gosh,
55 degrees outside this morning was a blessing.
Yeah, I mean it's been. Our weather is wanting to push in the fall direction. I'm good with it. It's pretty outside.
Beautiful.
Well, should we start with some makes? Should we get like the show started?
We have one detour. We have one detour. So after Flock, we did a little quick impromptu getaway. And Aaron, usually when you're
where's this going?
let me see what you set up for the group to do.
Well, I said, okay, so I said, hey gang, wouldn't it be fun to kind of do a sunglasses exchange? And so I took everybody's names, gave them the names. I said, here's our limits. It has to be under $20.
So you don't know who has your name.
Correct.
Kind of like a white elephant.
Kind of like what happened, exactly. The stipulations were under $20. You can order them straight off the... yes.
I don't remember that.
You can... I know, because you spent $180 on your person.
I did not.
I said you can hand make things if you want to. You can just buy them off the rack, all that good stuff. And my person who got me was Raymond.
Oh, it was? I didn't remember that.
Needles at the Ready. So here's my sunglasses, y'all. Now, if you notice, one, they're fierce. Two, they are covered in Werther's originals because of my alter ego and drag persona is the original Mrs. Werther's. It actually, he came, got me a bag of Werther's to go with these glasses, and I think I look pretty fierce. And the more you turn your head, the better you look.
I mean, they just bounce all the light off of your face.
Do they?
You certainly bring your own bling.
It's bring your own bling. So, Ray, I thank you very much for these.
Now, did it take him a couple of weeks to eat, to chomp through that candy? Or what happened to the candy?
A couple of weeks to the candy. Then he had to use, I'm assuming, a soldering iron to get these on here. So I can just imagine him in his white cutoff shirt with a big hammer, just swinging at it, just getting these Werther's originals perfect, a little bit of soldering iron.
Do you feel pretty in them?
I do feel a little bit pretty, and yet a little bit, I want some sugar. Like everywhere I look, I want sugar. I don't know why. It's like,
wow.
Yeah. So, Chip, what's yours?
So the first thing when Aaron proposed this to the group, I had to immediately look up what sunglasses were because I wasn't familiar. As somebody who doesn't go outside, I was like, what? Well, Michael over at Piece for Piece, he had my name, and it wasn't a big stretch. All you had to do is slap some sunglasses on my face.
I think they look cute in 80s.
They are very 80s, and I was like trying to put out the sun when we went for our photo ops, and they're really great. I mean, on a clear day, I could see forever.
Well, I love it because they look 80s. You have an 80s name, Chip. Chip was always the...
Let me pop my collar,
well, especially with
my
your striped shirt on. It's working very much for you right now. Do you have pictures of everybody else?
I don't.
Okay. Well, maybe it'll be on Instagram at some point. But it was a fun time. It was a fun little gag.
And people can check out Michael and Carrie and Needles at the Ready podcasts. I think I've seen all of theirs on their shows.
Thanks, Jeff. Really helpful.
Now, we, Aaron and I'm gonna blame you. So he took us to the lake for what seemed to be 5 hours. How long were we there?
Like 30 minutes.
I literally got that afternoon, I got some sun on my face, but half of my face was pink from that 20 minutes.
We were all standing in the water, and I heard a little voice say, "How long are we staying here?"
I never uttered such a thing. I had so many things to look at. I was also new.
He's like,
so
what is this? Is this what we do? We just look at stuff? I go, yes, it's gorgeous. It was a beautiful mountain. Well, it was Lake Cle Elum.
Nobody had a bathing suit on. Everybody. It was like the
it was
early.
that kind of party.
It was,
no.
It was like early 1900s when they would just wade in the water with their legs. They would lift up their hoop skirts and just wade in the water. That's what this team did.
That's what we did because we didn't know what it was going to be like. You actually drive down through the sand on the beach because during the wintertime it's all full of water. Summertime, because the snow from the mountains is starting to dissipate. It was gorgeous, and it was around Roslyn, Washington, where they filmed Northern Exposure. I go out there once a year anyways to eat lunch at the Brick, just to get out of town for a little bit. It's only like an hour and 20 minutes away. So we just spent a little time in
Highly
Cle Elum,
recommend.
Roslyn. And if you do come for Flock next year, go to Cle Elum. There's a place called Suncadia, which is a resort, but they have amazing houses that you can get at Airbnb, Verbo. You're up in the mountains. You can go through Roslyn, which is a cute little town, Ronald. Go to Lake Cle Elum. So if you need help planning your flock next year and where to go afterwards, I would suggest Cle Elum, Roslyn as one of your options.
Oh yeah, we had a nice visit, and we're probably not going to go there again next year because we'll probably have our bigger group, and you want to try something new each time.
Yeah, our group was in a couple separate houses this year.
Are you coming?
So we would like to get our group into after flock into one bigger house, maybe closer to the ocean or like Hood Canal. The only thing about our ocean is it's very overcast a lot of the time. So sometimes you get there, you're like, we're at the ocean, but I really can't tell, but it's still pretty. Cool. So that is
Aaron,
a little...
You made that?
I did. I have two things to show. One thing, I'm going back to post-flock when we got together. Carrie brought some, is it Polymer? Polymer clay, and you've probably seen this on all our friends' shows, but mine's much better than theirs, so stick around. Just kidding. I was the worst at first.
Okay.
So Ray and I were terrible when we first started this whole clay. Are you trying to get someone's attention in there?
Day one, Aaron rage quit.
I didn't rage quit. I just threw things across the room. No, I wasn't good at it.
Day two, he was in it to win it.
So here's my day one stuff. I don't even know if I can show this. Let's see if, can we get that, please? Well, if we can't, then that's totally fine. My day one stuff was just kind of basic things like this. And yeah, it looks pretty. And then Kevin made this and gave it to me. I'm like, why is Kevin so much better than mine? Then day two, I started to kind of focus a little bit more. Maybe I should just do my own thing. I did make this Prince logo, which I attempted. It needs a lot of help, obviously.
You made that?
I don't want to admit it, but I did make this.
No, I mean, when you look at it, you 100% know what it is.
Yeah, it is, but I could have probably melded everything together. Is that the correct word? Or made everything go together. Soldered it. But then, gang, here's where it starts to get good. Now,
as if it hasn't been good already.
I am blaming the color of the clay. This was white clay when I started, but then when we baked it, it turned kind of this color. So it looks like the ghost has a dong. That wasn't my full intention, but if you know me, you wouldn't expect anything different. And then I made another little ghost. Look how cute he is. And this one's more of a 3D compared to the 2D. Then it just starts getting better. I said this was going to be Carrie, but it's more of a Mr. Bill type character. I can't tell if she was happy or offended. Carrie used to dye her hair.
Why do I feel like she's going to say computer no worky?
Computer no worky. So we'll call it more of a Mr. Bill. And then I was like, let's get really weird with it. I was thinking of New Orleans and just kind of of a little voodoo doll. This is not how I feel internally. Internally, my heart is all flowers. But sometimes some weird stuff comes out.
Aaron, we could totally make this one, have that inspired into designing some fabric. And have a whole line with just that.
This one?
Yes. She wants to tell a story.
I bet she's got many stories. Then we're starting to get into the really good stuff, though, the last hour. I made this little tree, and the little tree has a little owl hole, and I think he's adorable. It's a stitch marker. Then here we go. My claim to fame that I think, and everybody else can do whatever they want with themselves if they don't like it. Look at my walrus. And now, again, this is the white clay that I used for the ghost. So the walrus tusk turned, let's just pretend like he's ate a lot. So it's years and years of staining. And
it looks like a milk dud.
It does not look like a milk dud. It looks like an adorable walrus. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. And the last one that I'm super proud of, I said, hey, has anybody ever seen an octopus wearing a cowboy hat? No? I'm going to make one. It even has the tentacles at the bottom of it. and he's very happy and wearing a little cowboy hat.
His eyes are popping.
He was too big to be a stitch marker or something, so he just kind of hangs out with me. But yeah, Carrie was so generous and awesome to bring this with us when we did our little excursion. I don't even know how long you're supposed to bake them, so watch Carrie's, Michael's, or Kevin and Ray's episode
and
to find out.
You can't even go by hers because she has a toaster oven that she only uses for this, and unfortunately, it's like broken in some way that it just goes to Power Ranger hot.
Yes.
And so the true time is not. Find it on YouTube.
Find it on YouTube. But this was so much fun, guys. If you just some rainy Saturday this winter, go to Aunt Joanne's or Uncle Michael's and just get a few clay things, make some stuff.
On the way home, go
Pop
to
them in
the
the oven.
Goodwill and get a $95 toaster oven because usually things are higher at Goodwill, right?
They've gone up for some reason. Goodwill's not that good.
But get a used, maybe on Facebook Marketplace, free, Free Cycle?
Buy nothing.
Sure. Buy nothing.
Buy nothing. But yeah, that is one of my you made that's, and I'm still holding for applause because I can hear it. I mean, yes. I mean, look at this little guy. He's so
we can't do a thumbs up because it'll break the
internet.
It'll break the things. So just say subscribe, ring the bell,
subscribe.
There's your thumbs up.
Okay.
When can we expect normies?
Normie. Someday we'll make him, and it'll be adorable. That'd be so cute. Let's have some fun. Jeff,
you made that?
You made that?
I did. Chip, can you reach the bag? I have
Jeff
to say,
was
kids,
lucky enough to get one of these bags when it was for sale. I think a year ago.
Yes, there were Chip, 3, 4 of these made.
There were not, and there was only a handful.
Yeah,
Look at that.
I saw it on Instagram. I ran to the site and was lucky enough to get one, and now it comes everywhere with me that I go. So I love it. You can't have it. I did make this. This is the Core Vest by Jared Flood. This is in Aaron's Yarn, Fiber Hustle in Melancholy. What's the rest of?
So this is in Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness. This is made out of 100% BFL superwash yarn.
This is a really great pattern. I really highly recommend it. Like we said earlier, there's not a lot we can do with sweaters down in Louisiana, but I'm a sweater vest boy. You can tell often by my Carlton dance. I like to match.
Could you perform it right now, please?
No. Special
This is what
occasions
this show
only.
is.
Oh,
this is a
there we
special
go.
occasion.
It's so unusual.
I learned a few new things from this. I'd never done a welt. Chip, can we have the overhead?
Oh, well, you're already in charge. I love it.
Look, I'd never done a welt.
he's
This is a
presenting.
welt on the neck here that was really fun to do. The pattern is very long because it's got lots and lots of detailing.
Wait, what part
in
is
it.
the welt?
The welt is the raised ridge around the collar here. Just adds a little extra detail. Because the yarn's so variegated, we do lose some of the detail. The ribbing is knit in pattern, so you don't have to pick up any stitches along the way. It's bottom up, DK yarn. It's really, really a fantastic pattern. In fact, it's so fantastic.
DK?
It is. Mm-hmm. I'm about to cast on a new one. That is going to be my project at the retreat. Is a second one of these in Fiber Hustle's dumpster juice.
Oh, dumpster juice, Carrie.
Wait, say that again?
Fiber Hustle's dumpster juice. It's a beautiful color. It's nice tan or beige with some flecks of greens and blues. It's going to really show off more of the details of the sweater.
Sometimes your friends don't see the magic.
Some people love dumpster juice. Some people are offended by dumpster juice. But at least it moves you.
It does.
And which way did Carrie feel about it?
Carrie was not a fan of dumpster juice.
It moved Carrie away from dumpster juice.
Exactly. Now, Jeff, how many skeins did you use for this?
This came out to just over 900 yards that I used, so 3 3/4 yard skeins, 3.75
And did you
skeins.
use one whole skein and then switch it, or did you alternate?
I alternated skeins. I like to alternate skeins with anything that I do that's hand dyed, whether it's variegated so that it avoids pooling, or tonal so that I don't see breaks with the yarn. And you can tell I'm really impressed with just how little, I mean, really no pooling at all in the sweater by variegating. I mean, by alternating the skeins. And it's not that easy. I do helical knitting and just, slip the 3 stitches every time I come to the 3 stitches leading up to the other strand, and no gaps.
These are pretty.
That's
These little
gorgeous.
stitches.
Yeah, you really can't see them well because of the variegation, but Jared, when he wrote the pattern, added in just some really interesting detailing where the
There you go. You can
increases
see it.
and decreases happen. It's neat. It
It's
was a
really
new
pretty.
it was a new increase and decrease for me to do, and was really really nice. And it's one of those where we often try to make our increases and decreases as invisible as possible, and this one the goal was to make them visible and make them a design element in the pattern, and I was really, really happy with it.
That's gorgeous. Good job.
Thanks.
How long did it take you?
Oh, off and on, a couple of months. So not too long. It was nice not having not having to knit any sleeves. That is the benefit of knitting a vest is you don't, whole lot of knitting that doesn't have to happen.
And do you have multiple projects going at once?
I usually have 3 or 4 projects. I'm not one of those that I get stressed out if I've got 8, 10, 12 projects. So usually I've got a sock going, I've got some sort of garment going, and I usually have a baby item going as a gift for someone in my life. And then sometimes a hat. I like a hat or a washcloth just as a cleanser if I'm starting to get bored. So that's it. I usually only have 4, occasionally at the holidays 5 projects. Anything more, and I rip out ruthlessly. If I lose interest in a project, or the pattern doesn't seem to be working, or the yarn isn't matching up with the pattern, I have no qualms with frogging it. So I've gotten really good at steaming the wrinkles out of frogged yarn.
Oh, no. I let it sit there for 2 years, then rip it. I'm not good at right away ripping it, so. Cool. Chip,
Yes.
you made that?
Did I make anything? I don't think so.
Oh, hey. Well, we practiced it together. Let's go back this way.
Aaron,
Yeah.
what are you making?
Nope.
Nope. You made that?
Thanks, Jeff.
Wait a
Thanks
minute.
for being part of
You
the show.
have more done?
I do. When we were in the Cle Elum, Roslyn area, I was like, I need to cast on something. We know how we all scroll through Ravelry. I was like, I just want a project that has 2 skeins of yarn, that's not all garter, has a little bit of purling, but nothing that's gonna just make me think too much. So this, gang, is the Silver River Shawl by Helen Stewart. It requires 2 colors, a main color and contrast color, 393 yards of the main color, 415 of the contrast color on 4mm needles. And do you mind if I put this in front of your face real quick? We're gonna actually do it this way. There's only one end I haven't woven, but here it is, and it's gorgeous. I forget how long it measures out, but it fits me very well. This whitish sand color is London Fog, and this color right here is a one-of-a-kind because it was basically a yarn mop. I poured in some chartreuse I was working with when I was doing Rio, and then I just kind of poured in some other bluish and some other colors. So I don't know if you can kind of see it in there. Every once in a while there's little speckles of some other color.
I love those blue
Now,
pops.
I'm just going to turn this around. What was interesting about this one is it's the first time I ever got to do a star stitch, which I didn't even know it existed. Whenever I think of star stitch, I think of crochet, but it was super easy. This person did not invent the star stitch, but basically you knit three together, yarn over, you don't take it off the needle, and then knit them again, and it creates this little pucker that looks like a star. And it was very interesting. So,
And you only see it on the one side.
correct. This is the back side. You just see the regular kind of pearl garter stuff on the back. And the front side is pure perfection. And I also did is it a Pico? Not Pico. Pico?
Pico.
Pico bind off for the first time. if we notice here, it has a little bit of thrills that kind of come out, so it's not like a flat bind off, which I thought was interesting as well. There's nothing that anyone couldn't do as a beginner knitter, intermediate, or advanced knitter in this pattern. You might have a little difficulty the very first time you do the star stitch, just trying to memorize it, but it was perfect. And I haven't even put it on yet, actually. But let's just...
You said it fit you perfectly.
Well, did I?
Yes.
I lied then. Okay. Now it fits me perfectly, and it looks really good. So yeah, it's not a super huge, oh my gosh, shawl. It's not like a little kerchief kind of thing. It's kind of a medium size, and it took me, when we were 2 weeks? 2 or 3 weeks, but I have the day job, so it's not like I was knitting on this the whole time. But it was a really fun knit. I really enjoyed it.
I like how the star stitch adds some airiness too, so it's a good fall transition shawl.
It adds airiness. It just kind of gives it a look. I've never had this kind of look before. I'll see what it really looks like on Instagram, if it's something I'm going to keep for myself or give away.
How many skeins was this?
1 skein of each. And
Really?
I had plenty of left. I blocked, not super aggressively, but I did block and stretch it out a little bit.
And
So
I'm sorry, what weight is this?
this is fingering weight. Yeah,
Really?
so
This really went a long way.
It really did. And I have the balls upstairs that I was using, the yarn, and there is some left that I can use for another project. So highly suggest if you just have two skeins laying around the house that are kind of have a high contrast, this would be a perfect thing for it.
I love that I agree with you, Jeff. I like how the stars, is that what we're calling these?
Star stitch, yeah.
The star stitch, it adds, actually it looks, it's very subtle. And it doesn't look fussy. It just adds a little bit of pop and character to it without going fussy. Mm-hmm. Even that, with the picot, I still think this is, I think it's kind of masculine.
I think it is well, but also that's the cut and the color choice.
Ah, there it is.
Picot for that, I don't know if I did it correctly. I think in the instructions they had me cast on a certain amount of stitches to do it. I watched the Stephen West video on how to do it. He didn't have as many stitches in his tutorial. I just did his tutorial because I was like, I'm a visual learner instead of reading about it. So I wonder if I did the ones that were actually written, these might be extended.
Oh, these are subtle.
Yeah, these might come down a little bit further and be longer, because when I did the Stephen West version, let's say, I'm not going to give anything away. He said do 3 stitches, then do the formula to create these, and I think in the pattern it was 5 stitches. So these could have actually been longer, which I'm glad they weren't longer, because I think that would have feminized it a little bit more.
And however, Jeff, you were, when Erin was taking it off the blockers.
Yep, I asked about pinning it. Some people, to make them longer, will pin each picot bump out on its own and kind of stretch them out. And you can choose to not pin them, and just makes them a little more subtle, which I really like. I think I agree with you. It kind of gives it some interest on the edge without it feeling too lacy.
Yeah, and I was like, I didn't even know that was an option to do that, which I think is a great idea, but I'm like, do I even have that many T-pens to do every single one?
Or as Carrie's like to say, I just don't want to work that hard.
I just don't want to work that hard. But yeah, again, this is the Silver River Shawl, and it was a great knit. I mean, I highly suggest it. I don't think there's any knits that I've ever kind of been like, oh, I don't know if you should, but this one was really good. I really enjoyed it.
That's one of my favorite ones that you have done in a long time.
Because it's the only one I've done in a very long time.
Well, you know what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. Do you want me to make you one, my love?
I'll wear it with my new sunglasses.
So we'll make you a summer version.
It's just one in I'm easy on the eyes.
Oh, I'm easy on the eyes is the perfect color to go along with that.
Yeah. Wow. Add to cart.
Perfect. Perfect. Okay.
Jeff, you made that?
I am out of makes.
I don't want you to fall in over this.
I know. Fall backwards.
All right, so you're out of makes.
I am out of makes.
We don't have insurance here.
How about, Jeff, what are you making?
That I do have. So I'll pull back out. I have a tiny project in a giant bag.
Oh, so
this again is Erin's yarn.
Oh my God,
But it
that's
is
so
a one of a
cute.
kind, so you can't have it either. This was Erin. Erin did up 3 skeins of this in a camouflage yarn, and so it's really a nice blend of greens that I did. I also held these 2. Thanks, Chip. I also held 2 strands together. I mean, alternated 2 strands to get the camo. So I'm doing this for my best friend in the world's.
That's a lucky baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He turns 1 in November, so this will be his present.
Oh.
This is just a basic flax sweater by Tin Can Knits. I did skip the garter detailing on the sleeve. This is in. I have the tag.
Do you?
No, I don't, because the bag is upstairs. But I believe this is also in DK weight.
Yeah,
and I'm using flexi flips for the sleeves. I normally do my sleeves on 9-inch circulars for adult sweaters, but for babies, it's just too small.
What do you think of the flexi flips? I have never used them, but I just saw you, and they're obviously very flexible.
Yeah, here's the one, and you can see the bend in the middle. The Hayas are technically Flexi Flip is the brand for the Addy ones. These are the Haya brand, but it's the same basic concept. These are a little bit sharper. I have occasionally ended up bleeding from poking the needle through my finger, but it works really well. A lot of people will do the same thing with 2 short circulars. It just allows some bend in it so that you can go around and around in a circle without needing 2 needles in the work instead of 4.
Do they come individually? Like when I see these, I kind of think, oh, it's just a different version of a DPNs. Mm-hmm. Do they come individually, or can you buy them like as a set?
It only comes as a set. So they come as a set of 3. So you always have 2
okay.
in the work, and the third one is what you would pick up. And so as you get across each side, you're pulling one out. And it works really well. Yeah, I like them. I've got them in every single size. I use them for sleeves. I use them for the toes on socks. I use them for closing up hats. It works really, really nicely. And they make them, I mean, I've got from a 1 all the way up to I think an 11 is the largest I have.
How fun.
Yeah.
Nice.
They're nice.
No, they are sharp. On my shawl that is knit, I used my Zing needles, which I usually use my Chow Goo needles, and they're a little bit more blunt and not as pointy. And there's a few times, like doing the star stitch, I was like, I wish I had my Chow Goos. That way, they're just a little bit more pointy to get in there. It worked out in a way, but I haven't touched Chow Goos for a while. So touching this, what is this Chow Goo?
That's Haya.
They are sharp. I've never had those.
Yeah, I like them, and they're sharp on both ends. The Addies have a blunt end, and so you have to, if you want the sharp end, you really have to work on it. These are US 6s, so the main sweater is knit on 6s. The ribbing is on 4s, US 4s. Okay. I don't know the millimeters, but this is quick. I mean, all in to knit a baby sweater this size, especially a basic, stockinette raglan like this, 10, 15 hours.
Nice.
Yeah, not bad at all.
So Jeff, I'm actually noticing. Where'd it go? Let's go. Did I not do it? There we go. I'm noticing you have a wedding ring.
I do.
And I'm noticing that you like to make for others.
Yeah, no. My husband and I have no children.
Have you made your husband a sweater?
Oh, no. I have not.
I
have not.
Thank you. There's no reason for it.
No, I've made him socks. I've made him fingerless mitts. My husband works at a zoo, so it gets cold in the winter when he's outside.
So why no sweater?
That's a lot of work. A men's sweater is a lot of stitches, so it maybe one day. When I first started knitting, my husband said, Kim had talked about when we were out camping once. She said, it's important that when you knit for somebody that you make sure that they're knit worthy, that you're not going to spend all that time and money, and that they're not going to want it or they're not going to appreciate it. So when I first started knitting, he said, hey, you remember that story Kim told about needing to knit for knitworthy people? I just want to let you know, I'm not knitworthy. So I took it to heart. And then he started to see me in my sweaters and me in my socks and those sorts of things. And all of a sudden, I've been getting lately some pictures of, wouldn't this sweater look nice on me? So it might be coming. It might be coming. Well, he likes the cardigan, so he might be getting a cardigan at some point in the future.
So there's zero chance that he's ever going to see this episode.
Oh, no chance at all.
Are you going to make him one?
One day.
One day.
Yeah, what's the rush? Life is
Right.
long.
We've got years
Wow.
and years. One day.
What about the people at home? Have you knit your wife, girlfriend, boyfriend's, whatever, a sweater or not? And did it turn out like, oh, they wear it all the time? Or is it just sitting there and not getting any love? Was it a waste of time for you? Where you're like, oh, they're going to love it. And like, you've never seen them in it. Because I knit you a gorgeous shawl one time I have never seen you wear.
I have.
Okay.
It's been when you've been out of the house.
Yeah, and when are you going to wear this sweater? There's nowhere for you to wear this sweater.
It's terrible when somebody has to have. How long have you been knitting? How many years I've been.
Eight.
You know, it's getting louder. My request is getting louder.
Who are you going to wear it for? Seamus?
Myself. I mean, who do you wear? Who do you wear your knitwear for?
The world. I get out there. I need to be seen.
So it's all for their pleasure?
It's all. I don't do it for me, guys. I do it for you. That's the kind of person I am.
Okay.
All right, we'll talk again because we talked about this time last year that if you want a sweater, we can.
I want a sweater. I want something like this. In my size.
Something like this. We'll just give you this one.
You know, I hear...
What is this? Why is that there?
Oh, that's just a marker.
It's a stitch marker.
It's where my sleeves started, so I'll count my stitches and make sure the two sleeves are the same size.
Gotcha.
Perfect.
Yeah. You know, I heard, yep, those get closed up afterwards.
Oh.
Weaving some ends and closing the holes. Sometimes I'm better at making sure that they're sort of closed as I go, but the
This
nice
is
thing about
beautiful.
having ends to weave in is you can use them to close in any gaps from where you join new yarns or switch directions. I love this yarn. Gang, I have been pressuring Erin to try to figure out how to make this yarn again because
what I did.
it is hands down. I don't know how it is in other parts of the country, but you know, I'm from Sportsman's Paradise. There's a lot of hunting and fishing and things that go on, and I know a lot of people who hunt for camo yarn. So this is a good one, and I was lucky enough to get a hold of it, and I'm gonna have enough left over to get at least one hat out of it that
I need to
can
take
be
a
used.
picture of it, like up close, and see what's happening. So we'll see what.
Well, the good news is now it'll be on YouTube as well.
Very true. There's obviously greens and some darker colors.
The one thing I do want to add, and this is a testament to Erin's, I'm going to brag on it a bit. I alternated across, oh, thanks, Chip, this help. I alternated strands in the body, and I forgot when I started working on the sleeves, and I can't tell any difference at all. There's enough variation in the color. There's no pooling happening, at least not in such a small circumference here.
I personally am not a fan of pooling. Just my personal preference. So when I do dye yarn, I try to make it so, I mean, some of my yarn will pull before somebody's like knitting right now and going, wait a minute. I try not to have a heavy pull on it just because that's not the look I typically care for. So, but again, there's going to be some yarns that do and some dyers don't. But my dye style is try to not have as much pulling. Yeah.
Success.
Chip, what are you making?
I am actually making something. Where is it? So, my friend Brendan, he gave up on a project, and he had all of his pieces cut out, and he sent it to me. And what was funny is when the box came, this was the original box in Calvin Klein Man.
Oh.
And so I was like, oh, what is this? It's going to be my man quilt. So he gave me this book, which he was using from the pattern. And basically, he was going after this project here, where it's all about the kind of diamonds. And I was looking at that, and I was like, you know what? I don't know that I want to do diamonds, but what I went for instead was taking the pieces and starting to make rectangles out of the diamonds.
Oh.
And so I'm going to make something. What I like about this design here, down wide, there we go. What I like about this, there's a lot of negative space here where it's not just about the quilt blocks, but there's a lot of negative space to play with as well. And so I was thinking if I took, just randomly, I actually only went with like half of what he did. And we were at Cle Elum, and I started just doing pairs. And so now I'm going to take pairs randomly and just make kind of like a little zigzag, and it really doesn't matter. It doesn't matter which way I go. This one I think is a little bit more interesting, but I'm just going to play with it. And then I'm going to probably end up with either 2, 3, or 4 pairs. And then I'm going to have a nice big sashing, which is going to be offering a lot of negative space. So I just want this to be a big modern, kind of like a couch quilt. And I think it really, I don't want to overthink it. The only thing I have to really figure out is what my sashing is going to be. Something that is kind of in the neutral family, that kind of brings harmony to all the different pieces. But there's so many, and I kind of went for more of the muted fall palette. At the bottom of this box was a lot of spring color. So I have a whole different quilt that I could make. And I just think it's going to be fun. Like I did like all these pairs and was just going for it. So like there's some brighter pairings. I think it's going to be fun.
That's going to be gorgeous.
Yeah.
I don't think I would go stark white for the background because it's too much contrast. I might go with like a sand color. Can never go wrong with gray. Grays are a great neutral.
Mm-hmm. I like the gray and that mustard is. It reminds me of some of my yarn.
Yeah.
And you know what? I mean, like it's just. This is easy. I know it's becoming less and less popular to say selfish knitting or selfish quilting, but this is just like no-brainer potato chip.
Make things for you that you love.
Sewing and just enjoy it. And I'm like, Brendan, I couldn't say thank you enough. I know it's not what you envisioned, but I think it's going to be fun.
Well, I really love how you took the pattern and the pieces from the pattern and just used it as inspiration and then make your own thing.
Yeah.
Everybody else will have it.
What she's really good at.
Yeah.
Chip always takes a pattern, thinks of it as a recipe, like, hey, here's the main ingredients, then kind of
you have turkey, let's make souvlaki.
Exactly.
you have mac and cheese, let's make souvlaki.
So basically you want souvlaki.
Right.
You have vegetarian pizza ingredients, let's make souvlaki.
Toflaki.
Souvlaki.
I like that. It's good.
So that's what I am working. And TBD, let's see, I have no deadline. While you boys are
having fun.
Time
Having
of
our
fun,
lives.
you know, at the Cameroon. I don't know what.
Cameroon.
I might be long arming. That's probably what I'm going to be doing first. I want to long arm for the first time.
And first time in the new house.
Yes.
Nice.
I mean, the damn thing's paid for.
Is it
And it's
really?
not in the dining room.
It's exciting.
It's not in the dining room.
Nope.
No, records are. But
Records
Aaron,
are not.
what are you making?
Well, you saw Jeff's little one. I'm going to show you my big one.
Oh.
Oh!
Okay. So I am also making a flax sweater. And just like Jeff, I am not, again, it's just the pattern. You don't have to follow it all the way. I am not doing the garter stripe or edge on the sleeve. So it's going to be all stockinette. I think I started this, I want to say March, and I really haven't picked it up until I picked it up, I think, last week for the first time. I've maybe added another inch to this. It is a 3 times MRC. Oh my gosh, I'm just speaking work. It's 3. It is 3 times 3XL pattern. But I lost a little bit of weight, so it might be a little bit, it's not going to be huge on me, but it might be a little bit bigger. But yeah, so this is my flock sweater. This is all wool of the Andes.
Flax.
Did I say flock?
Yes.
You did.
Oh my gosh.
Flock on the brain.
You guys don't understand what it's like to be attractive and not always have all the good words. So, this is my flock.
Wait, did he just call us unattractive?
No, that's the way you heard it.
That was shade.
Yeah. No problem. You know how it is. No, that's my flax sweater. Wool of the Andes. This blue color is in Peacoat. And I do not have the band for this color right here. But I was like, I just kind of wanted 2 larger stripes here and then nothing else, just to give it a little bit more character, because we've all seen a 100% totally blue sweater. So I was like, oh, if I add a little bit of stripes, it might just add a little bit more character. But yeah, hopefully I can get going on this one again and be finished with it. I'm probably to my belly button, I assume. And then I just got to do the sleeves. As we said, everybody said before, the Flax sweater is a super easy pattern, amazingly written instructions. If you download the Tin Can Knits app, it's one of the free patterns that you can actually plug in what your dimensions are, and it gives you exactly what you need, how much yarn you need, how many rows you need to knit, and all that stuff. Because the Flax sweater starts from, you saw Jeff's. Jeff, there's probably
and that was the third
smaller.
size.
The third size,
Really?
all the
They're
way up
smaller
to
than that?
Yeah. There's a newborn and an infant, and I did the
Who
1-year-old.
is going to knit for a newborn?
Oh, I did. I've knit many a thing for a newborn.
Kevin and Ray do it all the
Yeah.
time.
Wow.
It's fewer stitches than a pair of socks. It's nice. It's fast, and it earns you lots and lots of uncle points.
Wow.
Uncle points, but you might learn something new knitting those really small things. So I mean, it's just like a dishcloth. Dishcloths are amazing to knit because you learn some new stuff in there.
Okay.
Yeah. Our friend Whitty talked about that a lot. Who is in our knitting group, talked about how he knit his first sweater as a baby Flax to learn the techniques to knit the adult one.
That's a very good idea.
That actually makes sense. And then, you have a sense of accomplishment a lot sooner.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's what I'm working on. As far as...
Is that in your Charlie bag?
This is my Charlie. Charlie, a good friend of ours, makes bags, doesn't sell them. He sent us a bunch of bags for bingo. I kept this one, and he knows that I did, because I was like, I love this bag so much. Is this Allison Glass or Tulip Pink? Allison Glass fabric, and it's a perfect bag for the sweater.
You've trained him well.
I know, it's funny.
She's easy to pick out.
Yeah, I know Allison Glass, Juicy Juice, Tulip Pink, Cafe Facet,
Close.
Facet.
Facet, Michael Miller, and yeah, like I know all these fabrics now, and it's kind of fun. As far as what I'm gonna knit at the retreat, I was talking to Jeff. I might just throw a bunch of yarn in and see what I can figure out, because since I finished this really cool thing, I need something new to knit. Because I mean, sweater knitting's fine, but I think I'm a shawl person, because it doesn't get super cold here. So I don't wear sweaters all the time, even though I love wearing sweaters. Yeah.
Plus, Aaron doesn't wear just one shawl throughout the day. He rotates them.
I'm like Prince.
Throughout
you
the day.
have to have an outfit change. You can't wear the same shawl on your 7:30 a.m. call as you're going to wear on your noon call. That's just ridiculous. Imagine the embarrassment.
I mean, it keeps
did you
everybody
wear
on
that
their
this
toes.
morning? It does. There are
Do you
times
change
I change my hats sometimes.
Your glasses?
Too. I can sometimes. Like, I'll go in at 7:30. Like, okay, then I'm like, wait a minute. Hey, everybody, I'm here. It's ready. Let's have this call. And I'm a dork. I know this.
That cat, he's cool.
I love this shirt, and the lucky thing for you is I have it in 2 different sizes. So you're going to see this shirt for many, many years. Thank you.
Which one is this one?
I think the 2XL.
What's the other one?
3XL, just in case, winter hits. Wow. and winter hits hard sometimes for me. Oh my gosh. I have a few, I don't have anything What Are You Makings, but I wanted to show a few things from Flock, if that's okay. But you have something to show from a friend of ours at Flock. Do you want to start with that?
Yes. So our friend, I made a new friend, a new BF.
Oh, you guys are like BFFs, like hardcore.
So at Flock, when we were setting up on Friday, came up to our space, and then all of a sudden I looked over across the way, immediately across the hall. I looked at this, and it was another bag maker, and I was in shock that they put me near her, because I was like, damn it, her stuff's good.
It's really good.
So Julia Hilbrand, who lives in Rhinebeck, So if you've been to Rhinebeck, you may have seen her bags. Our friend Rob, he bought one of her bags.
He bought one of her bags in Rhinebeck.
This thing is gorgeous. This is all felt, and then she comes up with her own designs. I love the hardware. I love this is it's probably hard to see, but this is an army green, and it almost looks like this is webbing, but she has some that are like really heavy duty, like a seatbelt. I love. I just love how the wraparound on the pocket that is built into the seam, and then you've got your magnetic. She has all kinds of bag styles, and then she also does home interior items. She has a beautiful website. If you go to, and it'll be in the show notes, juliahilbrand.com. She is in Rhinebeck, and she does ship. But guess what?
What?
Her birthday is the day before mine.
Really? Another Leo.
Another Leo. Guess what?
What?
She also uses a Serail. She is the fabricator, same machine as me. Guess what? She also has, for her buttons and her snaps, she is the same
Weaver.
Look
at me.
I mean, like, we had so many things in common. This is the woman I detested when I first came up, and I looked at it, I was like, she's going to make my stuff look bad.
No, this is perfect.
She was so awesome.
She has multiple sizes. Some of her things are like a duffel, I'm leaving the country for days. Some of it can be like a retreat bag. This one would be perfect for anything, like socks, scarf, or you don't even have to use it for knitting things. I mean, this is good enough to be like, hey, this is my work bag for the day, you know? And that's stylish and classy.
So that's, I mean, like, this is really a luxe, hers is a luxe brand, your magnet.
My magnetic glasses go right on it.
Hers is a luxe brand, but what was really cool is that she had one of her customers, Julie and I were talking, and one of her customers came up and said, you know what? When I first got your bag, however many years, she's been making bags for like 9 years. And when I first got it, she goes, I used to be so precious about it. She goes, I have since learned that you can beat this thing up, and just with a little bit of soapy water, if you get a stain on it, she goes, I take this everywhere now. And she goes, I pretty much can beat it up, and it takes a licking.
Oh, nice.
That I was like really excited to hear, because it does look like, it looks precious. It looks really luxe. And I mean, like, she has a beautiful website. Love it.
The website really is beautiful. She's a beautiful photographer as well.
That Julia. Who does that? Julia. And so Julia, I enjoyed meeting you so much. Erin, she gave us a coupon code.
What?
I actually, it was right before we started. Okay, she's doing 20% off. Damn.
That's huge.
Damn. So 20% off, and that's until September 15th. I love it. Her coupon code is FELTHUSTLE. All one word, FELTHUSTLE. Love it.
And again, we'll have that below. All you'll have to do is click the link and put FELTHUSTLE in
Exactly.
to save 20% until September 15th. So don't sleep on this. Get on it. Check out her site. It's until September 15th.
Yeah, because September 1st is just like a couple of days away.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And we love these bags.
Love them. So, and actually she, you may have seen them also on Needles at the Ready, Nader. Who is it? Ray. Ray got one of her bags.
Yeah, they're gorgeous.
Love it. So please add to cart and support Julia. I thought it was pretty exciting when you have a well-established bag maker coming from the East Coast to vend at Flock.
Yeah.
Wow. I want to do something on the East Coast.
Do it.
Do it.
That's us.
A 2-year plan. I think it'd be fun because, yeah.
Well, and it's always exciting to see folks in the fiber community working together, supporting one another. It'd be real easy for two bag makers to see it as competition. And look at you guys. Fast friends.
I mean, like, we literally were. And we were so consumed with our own booth. We did not really do a good job of just going out and taking full advantage of meeting all the other vendors, seeing what everybody brought. I mean, like, we were glued to our booth. I was so excited I actually met one other maker that I was like, oh my God. But who else did we see?
We saw a lot of people. I'm trying to think. Literally, one of my goals for next year is to be better this year. I'm a very social person. I'll talk to anyone. But I was so enthralled with our booth and the customers that I feel like maybe I was the standoffish one if you were a vendor, because I didn't get to talk to anyone that was around us, and I still feel terrible about that. So next year, I need to make a better effort at that. I wasn't doing that on purpose. It's just, for some reason, I just didn't get to talk to everybody that I wanted to. So next year, I want to have a Julia and Chip relationship, and the people next to us were from Ohio, and I didn't even get to talk to them too long. And so next year, I will do better with vendors. So if any vendor was like, that guy's a jerk, I'm really nice.
Do you love felt?
Like me next year.
Do you love felt? Do you love felt bags?
I
bet
do.
you do. Do you like felt wall art?
Yes. Look at this.
How about an amazing way to hold your pin collection?
Enamel pins.
Enamel pins. So we tried these, and we ordered plenty for everybody to have one. They're going, and we'd love you to have one. So add to cart from the shop. Jeff, do you collect pins?
I don't. I collect stickers. But
Stickers.
You know, the nice thing is a little Velcro dot on the back of the sticker, and it sticks right to that as well.
Oh.
And then I don't have to peel the back of the sticker off.
I love it. How about getting a normie?
Get yourself a norm.
A little normie.
Everyone needs more normie in their life.
What else do we have to show, Aaron?
I have a couple things. I just want to show you some new yarn that I dyed up exclusively for Flock. Some of it might stay around though. Chip and I were thinking, because he had his baskets, I had all my yarn. We're like, how can we cross over a little bit to bring some more things in together? He had this, you guys all know the lemon pepper quilt, which everybody fell in love with. I'll kind of show it behind here real quick.
Gang, I had people asking to buy it.
Yeah, so here's the lemon pepper quilt, which again we all know and love. But I'll lay it right here, came up with some yarn combos that went
Wait, Jeff, isn't this more gorgeous in person than you?
It's stunning.
What do you like about it, Jeff? Tell everyone what you like about it. But let's go down wide. And yes, so I created a lemon pepper yarn, and then it kind of same color family as the Cloud of Thunder. And if you want to do a fade or work with these together, and then my new color for the dark gray is Gregorian Chant, which they all kind of play together, and this was all modeled after this amazing quilt. But I think lemon pepper is just gorgeous. Of course, it's not going to focus, but that's all right. Yeah, look at that right there. And if you put it with the color of Thunder, it's going to play great and perfect with it. And also with Gregorian Chant, those three could be an amazing fade.
You know, one of the things I'm thinking about for this is just this morning the Stephen West MCAL details were released. It's two colors. Wouldn't these be fantastic?
They actually might. I'm curious to know what it's going to look like. But yeah, I think you need 2 of each.
Yep, 200 grams.
That's a good call out, Jeff. Nice sell. And another one, we all know the amazing Alaska Rainbow, Alaska Along, something that Chip held a couple of years ago, where people did the Alaska Rainbow, which this is actually hanging up, well, not currently, it's in my hands, upstairs right when you walk into our home. I mean, this is one of my favorite things that Chip has ever made. And we kind of...
I made that?
You made that. And we decided, hey, let's try to do like a little kit that is modeled after the Alaska Rainbow. So what this is you get 1 skein of London Fog, which is an 80-20. And then I did a 4 skein set of minis, which they are 75-25 BFL, and they are 20 grams each to kind of go along with this Alaska rainbow because they all go together so well. So yeah, so if you notice there's like the London Fog color is kind of in here, and then the blue matches that, and the greens, and it's just, I don't know if it's translating on the camera very well, but this camera always has a little bit of trickery. But yeah, so we have a few of these left in the shop as well. This is called Knitting the Rainbow. Knitting the Rainbow. It's a little set modeled after this amazing Alaska rainbow quilt.
I love it. It makes me think that it'd be a really great set to do any of the painted bricks projects with.
Yes. Perfect.
Well, I have a next project that I'm going to work on.
Let's see it.
I think this is what I'm going to do when you guys are out. So, if you actually have ever watched, I don't know if you guys watch the, oh, I'm sorry. I'm just stepping on his fine make.
That's okay.
In the opening of our intro to the podcast, this actually appears. I made this quilt top years ago, and all it is a series of flying geese. I was just playing. There was no pattern, and there's a lot of room for meandering.
Am I moving?
Yeah. The thing is this thing is so huge.
It is.
It is so huge. I have to decide. Maybe
oh my God,
I might turn this into. I might turn this into either a king, or, and I had it stored with lavender. Can you smell
Smells
it?
fantastic.
I got smell from here.
It smells so
what
good.
happened?
But I'm thinking about, or I could do two quilts.
Yeah.
Like this is a beautiful fall quilt. I love this is with Bohemian Rhapsody is the feature fabric. Don't even remember what the grade tonal fabric is. I think it's just Joann's whatever, nothing special, and it's actually the reverse. So the back side is actually the proper fabric. It's black. But I was like, I'm going to steal, and I need the gray instead.
Interesting.
Because I love, again, gray is one of my favorite things for background.
Chip, this is beautiful.
It's
I
pretty.
love some of the, like, sort of the mix of the bright and the dark.
Just some of them.
Nice.
But I think I need to tame this down. This is too big. I don't know what I was thinking.
Oh,
know.
yeah.
Sometimes size matters.
I mean, honey, I could tent the house with this.
It's a circus tent. No, I can't wait till you make a decision what to do with it because I think it's going to be great. They can make it into. We can have couch blankets, couch quilts.
I think that's what I'll do. There might even be room enough for 3.
Jeff, you can move in.
There you go. Aaron, do you have any more?
No, that I am finished with everything. There's still some things in the shop. Most of the album-inspired things are gone, which after the retreat, I'm going to come back and start dyeing some more Journey Boston. Journey and Boston seem to go very well. The Go-Go's, Beauty and the Beat, Rio. So I'm going to start dyeing more album-inspired yarn again. I just need another week of before I go back into full beast mode on the yarn.
Okay, so I have one more. The funny thing was, I was at a decision. I was not going to make the Chipette chip basket any longer. It's so tiny. It's for one skein of yarn, and I was just like, I'm not getting joy out of making that. And everybody kept coming up to Flock asking for it, yet demanding it, that I ended up selling out of I have literally one. I'm gonna laugh if somebody actually adds this to cart because this is the last one that I have. But for those that you don't know, this is the one skein. You know, you can put it on your belt, you can put it on your wrist. Tiny. They don't make it any smaller than this. I was going to get rid of these, and everybody.
It does fill one caked up ball of yarn fits perfectly.
So if you're knitting a sock, and
there you go.
Yeah, so you can put that in there, and you're like literally. I'm gonna make them more. I'm gonna make them more. I'm gonna make them more.
Make it more.
Yeah, so I'm gonna do these. So stay tuned. But I want somebody to take this last one. That's kind of funny.
I love mine. I was lucky enough to get one of the prototypes a couple of years ago, and it lives in my truck console. It's where I keep my to-go sock project.
You don't knit when you drive, do you?
No, I knit when I'm waiting in parking lots for things.
No.
We've heard that some people knit when they drive.
Don't do it, kids.
We all have doctor's office knitting that stays in the car.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, so good news. I'm not gonna discontinue these. I am gonna make more. I'll let you know when they come in.
And one lucky person's going to be fast enough to get this really cute Christmas fabric.
he's not going to make more until that one sells.
I'm not making more until this one sells. Aaron.
Yeah.
I got a question for you.
Yes.
Do you like Werther's?
Yes.
The Werther's original?
I like the original ones.
The original Werther's. I mean, there's fake ones out there?
No.
Do you like beauty makeup?
Yes.
I bet you do. Mm-hmm. Do you like...
I like wigs.
Do you like wigs?
I love a wig.
Do you like a dauber?
I do. I like daubers.
I bet you do. A dauber?
I love a dauber.
Oh my God. Well, how about some bingo?
Bingo. Woohoo.
Bingo.
Are we bringing it back?
We're going to bring bingo back for Halloween. It's the most anticipated, highly tolerated social game that you may or may not have played before.
It's true. So we'll probably announce next time when we'll have the bingo. It'll be in October, close to Halloween.
I mean, people were asking for the Chipette and bingo.
Chipette and bingo. Let me see. I'll look at the calendar real quick while you guys are talking amongst yourselves.
But, Jeff, have you played bingo?
Yes, I'll promise to sign up. It'll help everyone else's odds of winning, since I've never won bingo.
What about October 26th? That is the Saturday before actual Halloween. I know some people have probably some real parties to get to, or if you're like us, you're not leaving the house and dressing up for Zoom.
Well, what day of the week is Halloween?
A Thursday.
A Thursday. So they could have had... So is it more fun to have a Halloween party before, or is it more fun to have it after?
Before.
Mm-hmm. You think so?
Because in November, you're already thinking about turkey. I don't want to think about gory...
Oh, true.
Slice them up turkeys.
True.
Yeah.
All right, so that we can commit to?
10/26.
10/26.
Bingo down.
We are not releasing the sign-up sheet just yet.
Yeah, it's going to be...
Because you're going to sign up, then you're going to realize, oh, I'm not available. Then it just pisses me off.
And that's a dangerous thing.
Because it's just too much work.
That's a fact.
So, yeah, stay tuned. But yes, count on Halloween bingo. But bingo, if you're going to come, you have to dress up.
I mean, you have to have your camera on.
And you have to have your camera on. There are no just watchy-woos. There's no looky-loos. There's a Jeffy Poo.
It's a Jeff. Jeff will be there wearing a nurse's maid outfit. We will be there as Lady Chips and the original Mrs. Werther's.
The Fiber Hussies will be there.
Yes, and Halloween's always great time. We usually have 2 games. Depends how many people sign up. 2 games, around 30-some in each game. There will probably be prizes, which a lot of times you guys donate. A lot of times that we donate. So once we get closer, we'll have more details. But if you're even thinking about Halloween and bingo, kind of keep 10/26 in your head right now.
We are with you. We terribly miss bingo.
I know it's been a whole year.
It may have been.
We didn't do New Year's Eve. We didn't do Pride or anything. We did nothing.
We served our country.
We did. We served our country at Flax. So yeah, I'm excited for it.
All the cool cats are going to be there.
According to Nitty Natty, it's where the party is.
It's where the party is. So yeah.
Here, Jeff. Let's see a snap.
Oh.
Oh!
That was really good. I'm impressed. That's awesome.
Want some glasses? The library is open.
We don't need that. Different episode.
All right. Cool. Are we good? Are you happy?
Good.
Are you satiated?
You should. Jeff, thank you so much for joining us. What a surprise that you just showed up at our window.
I know. Slight stalker vibes, but you got to do what you got to do.
Just a little bit, yes.
Thanks for having me. It was a lot of fun.
You know what, guys? Have a great balance of your summer, and it's the 29th today, so this is going to come out around the 30th, which is a Friday. We try to post on Fridays so that you have all weekend to watch. But we hope you enjoy the rest of your August,
your holiday weekend if you're celebrating Labor Day.
Oh gosh, it's Labor Day coming up too.
Yep.
Woohoo! Yoan.
Right. And Yoan, play us out.